right, you notice my training partner is wearing yellow. And as you know, that means unknown person. So I don't know what his intentions are. And because I don't, you cannot whip out your baton and intimidate somebody. That will get you in a lot of legal trouble. So the only way you can defend yourself legally and pull this baton is if it's a hostile person attacking you and you fear for your safety or someone else's safety. And we're talking serious injury or death. Now we have a hostile person and he's coming right at me. So he has a tool in his hand. A tool could cause serious injury, permanent injury, or even death. So I can use legally force. I can use my baton to protect myself. And again, I have nowhere to flee to in this case. Maybe I'm up against my patrol car. Maybe we're inside of a small room and he's coming at me. Well, if you have some distance, you can use a technique where you don't have to use force. It's kind of like a warning shot with a gun, except this is with the baton. And we call it the keep away swing. And you're going to swing violently back and forth. And you're going to have a face that shows it. And you're going to be giving him warnings, back off, back off. And you're just going to swing back and forth. And hopefully, now obviously in a real situation, he's going to be further away. But for the video, he's, closer for demonstration. And you're just going to swing. And we're not talking a long time. We're talking a few seconds. Back off, back off. And hopefully that's enough to make him come to his senses and back off. So from this view, imagine you are the attacker and you're trying to attack me. Now you're some distance away where I have some reaction time. First, you want to deploy the weapon. All right. Before he gets close, give the international symbol for stop. Stop! Back off! Now you can use that in court. Hey, officer, I legally held up my hand. I was a uniformed officer. I told him to stop. He saw my intentions. I had my weapon out. And then, of course, all the reasons why you deployed your weapon. And then, as he's moving on you or he's aggressing you, do the swing, the keep away swing. Back off! Back off! I'm not telling you again! Now, obviously, that is going to be just for a few seconds. And of course, if he doesn't comply and he attacks you, well, now you take your swing. Now you hit your target. And of course, you can justify yourself. You can even add that one more. Officer, I did a keep away swing. I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want to hit him, but he aggressed me. And once he got to that distance where I couldn't do anything else, I had to strike him. When I was a teenager, my Filipino martial arts instructors told me that there were 12 angles of attack. Then when I studied Roman warfare history, along with medieval European fencing and even Apache Indian knife fighting, they had a diagram of only 8 angles. What was missing? Well, they just assumed everyone knew you could attack or defend forward or backwards. The problem is, over time, these concepts got lost, techniques got lost, tactics got lost, and a lot of systems developed. However, it finally dawned on me that it's all based on geometry. There's only 10 angles in this universe. There's forward, there's back, there's right, there's left, there's up, there's down, and then there's 4 diagonals, which basically is an X. There are no more than that. Now, there's delivery systems, circular or half circle, but when it comes to angles, whether striking or blocking, there's only 10, and I'm going to show you each one of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to get into an imminent conflict stance. You're going to deploy your baton, and you're going to follow along with me, and we're going to go through the 10 angles. Now, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, for now, put it in your right hand, because we're going to do both hands. I'm going to face away from you, and I'm facing the hostile subject in front of me. Number 1, the first angle is forward, straight in. Perhaps the lower abdomen, which is a green zone, or perhaps an arm, or perhaps a leg, but anything going forward is a number 1. Okay? Now, let's say he's behind me. Maybe it's a second hostile person coming up behind, grabbing me or about to hit me. Okay, anything going back is rearward, backward, number 2. So you could hit abdomen, you could hit the leg, you could hit the arm. It just depends on where his body position is. So you have forward and you have back. Now you have 2 horizontals. You have from right to left, that way, or we also designate it as number 3. And again, I'm hitting green zones, arm or leg. Obviously, you have the opposite from left to right. I can hit the arm or I can hit the leg. All right, so we have forward, back, horizontal, horizontal. Now I have vertical. However, if I'm using reasonable force, I cannot hit the head, I cannot hit the clavicle. But on the other hand, he's reaching, he's grabbing a hold of me, he's trying to kick me. I can go vertical to an arm trying to grab me or a leg trying to kick me. All right? Now you have vertical going up. That's straight up. Now, obviously, you're not going to go under the chin, you're not going to hit the groin. But again, maybe I hit the underneath of his arm. He's reaching up. Or hitting a leg that's up high because he just tried to do like a roundhouse kick against me. So, forward, back, horizontal, horizontal, vertical, vertical up. Now you have 4 left. You have from right to left, diagonal, coming down. And again, green zones. Green zones. Then opposite way, coming down, or hitting low. Then you have from right to left coming up. Okay, coming up. Again, green zones. And then finally, coming up. So, number-wise, 7, 8, 9, 10. So with the right hand, those are your 10 angles. Now let me show you what they would look facing me. If you're taking the position of the bad guy now, and I am the security officer. So 1 is forward. 2, someone's coming behind me. It could even be an elbow. Anything going back is a number 2. Then horizontal, opposite way horizontal. Vertical, and again, only green zones. Vertical down, vertical up. Then diagonal, coming right to left, left to right. Then diagonal coming up, diagonal coming up. That's it. Those are the 10 angles. Now, something you should remember too is whenever you're striking, don't forget this protection. This is your shield, your check hand. And especially if he's coming at you with a weapon and you fail to block, this is your last resort. This is going to protect you. So then, let's say I want to do a number 1. I want to go lower abdomen. Well, obviously, I can do some impact and stop him. But if I step a little bit, I take a little forward momentum, now my weight is behind that strike. And it's just like boxing. Whenever a boxer does a hit, they always take a little step forward because that's forward momentum. So when you do a baton, always take a little step forward if you're doing number 1. Doing number 3, yes, you can hit just with your arm, but if you rotate your body into it, you now have torque. If you rotate the opposite way, you have torque. So yes, I can hit the arm, green zone, leg, green zone. It's going to hurt. Hopefully it will stop him. But if I need to really stop this person, make sure he's no longer a threat, don't just hit with the arm, but rotate the body into it. Get some torque into it. Same thing, opposite way. Rotate. All right? So now we're going to go on to the left side. With your baton in your left hand, get into imminent conflict position. But of course, now that it's in my left hand, where should it be during deployment? Yes, it's going to be weapon side back. So this is basically where you're going to start from. Now, turning around and taking you through the angles, number 1, forward. Number 2, back. Number 3, and use torque, turn. Number 3, horizontal, left to right. Number 4, right to left, horizontal. Straight down, vertical. Straight up, vertical up. Now I have my 4 diagonals, starting with number 7, or from left to right. All right, so 7, diagonal. 8, diagonal opposite way, green zone, arm or leg. And then you have your last 2 angles, and coming up from left to right, or right to left coming up. Those are your angles. Now, here's what it would look like from the perspective of the hostel. Number 1, forward. Number 2, back. Maybe I used my forearm because he's so close to me. Or use the butt of the weapon. So, 1, 2. 3 is what? Horizontal. 4, opposite way. 5, straight down, green zones only. 6, straight up. Now diagonal, 7 down, from left to right. 8, opposite, right to left, coming down. 9, coming up at a diagonal, left to right, and my left to right, and coming up the opposite way. That's the 10 angles with the left hand. Now, for those of you who are using the side handle baton, you're going to follow with me. You're going to deploy it and get into an imminent conflict position. Now, the 10 angles are exactly the same, the 10 striking angles and the 10 blocking angles. However, because this weapon is slightly different, there are some changes. So, facing the hostile, number 1 could be one-handed and a lower abdomen strike, a green zone. However, to generate more power, you can grab the top of it and strike. Or you can grab the handle, both hands, and strike. All right, for a number 2, someone coming up behind you, same thing. You can strike with just one hand, you can strike with 2 hands, or like this. And I'll swing around and show you in a moment. Okay, now we go on to number 3, horizontal. Well, I can strike this way with the edge, or I can swing and hit arm or leg. All right, same thing with number 4, coming the opposite way. I can strike this way, or leg, or do a swing and strike. All right, number 5, straight down. Well, you can come straight down. Guy tries to grab you, boom, or tries to kick you here. Or you can even come down and straight down using the long end of the shaft, the long arc. All right? Same thing with coming up. You can come up like that. You can come up with 2 hands. You can even come up vertical like so and swing the weapon. All right. Diagonal. There's 4 diagonals. You can come down this way, number 7, right to left, or come down 8, left to right down. Or you can come up this way, hitting with the short end, or come up this way. You can also strike with the long arc, 7, 8, or coming 9, 10. All right? So you have 2 choices with the side handle baton. Now let me show you from the hostile's perspective, which is you for now. All right, I can do one-handed forward, lower abdomen. I can grab here and hit. I can grab here, hit. You have some choices. All right, someone's coming behind me. Boom, straight in. Or grab here, back. Grab here, back. All right. Even if they grab the back end, the tail end of my baton now, I can swing and do this. It's still a strike, number 2 going back. Okay, number 3, horizontal. This way or leg. Or, if I prefer, hit arm hit leg, and use the long arc. All right? Opposite way. This way, horizontal or low, or strike with the long arc. Vertical, straight down, like so, or straight up, or hit like that. Okay? Now you only have 4 left. Diagonal, coming up. Or if you prefer, swing up. All right? Now, as you swing this, it's going to move around. So after a hit, you may have to adjust. You may have to re-grip. That's it for right-handed. Let's try it left-handed. All right, for those of you who are left-handed, put in your left hand, weapon side back, and follow along. Hostile person in front of me. 1 comes forward, or with 2 hands, forward. All right? 2, someone behind you. Anything going back is number 2. 3, horizontal, coming from left to right, either arm or leg. Or if you prefer, strike. All right. Number 4, opposite way, horizontal or leg, coming that way. Or if you want to strike, and strike. All right. Number 6, straight down or straight up. Or come down with the long arc, or come up with the long arc. Now, 7, diagonal or 7, long arc. 8, diagonal from right to left or long arc. Coming up, number 9, or 10, up, or striking with the long arc. All right, from the perspective of the hostile, 1 is forward. 2, someone's coming back behind me. 3, horizontal. 4, horizontal. 5, straight down or 5, straight down. 6, straight up or 6, straight up. 7, diagonal or with the long arc. 8, diagonal. 9, diagonal or long arc. And 10, diagonal. Now, even I'm a little awkward with my left hand because now with a straight baton, no problem. But I would never use a side handle baton on my left hand because I'm just not coordinated with it. I can do it, but if this was my only weapon as a right-handed, I'd just use it like a regular baton because I don't practice with it that much. I always practice 80% with the right hand and about 20% with the left hand. But with a side handle baton, that takes a lot of dexterity, which, I don't have. So I would use it as a regular baton if that's all I had. All right, right-handed, no problem. I've got it down. So this was only to show you lefties the different angles. I've been an advisor on the board of advisors on Security Training Center for 2 decades since the company was first formed. And this baton training video is just part of the contribution I've made over the years. Now, I'm still a certified guard with the state of California, so I have to have a continuing education in security matters, and I even go to STC, even though I am a contributor, because there I can get good online training and also very clear and concise training materials. So, visit the website and stay safe.